This is a video just showing a couple of problems I've had with these winches over the years, and I decided to fix this one. This is a 4-ton cable winch. You can get it just about any of the hardware stores, Canada, the US, all over the place. They're all relatively cheap, made in China. And this one, I will admit, I was stressing it to its maximum. There's no question. But a quick overview as to what happened, and I thought I had just bent the handle in some form or fashion. So what it was doing was, every time I tried to crank the winch, even with no load, the handle was jammed. So it was turning the actual cable spool just to move the winch, and it was very hard to move the handle even with no load on it. So I thought I had pulled so hard that I had changed the geometry between these and possibly jamming in here, but that's not what it turned out to be. So if you look at how these are made, and I guess it's to significantly reduce the costs, the actual pulley or the what the cable is wound on is on each side 3 individual pieces of steel, and they're stacked on top of each other. And what they do is there are 3, I will say, teeth that come through all the way to line up all 3 of these pulleys, and then they do a tack weld on the outside. And what happened was, and I think I see why, it's not in perfect alignment. So if you see this dog for cranking it is in place and tight to the teeth, you can see the other side, it's just about 1/8 of an inch short. So it's probably putting all the pressure on this side, kind of twisting the pulley, and they have a little, like I say, tack weld on the outside holding all these plates on. So I didn't realize that until I actually took it apart. And when I took it apart, it kind of fell apart. So if you look right there, you can see the weld right there. I actually fixed it. This is the weld here. So I took it all apart and removed that actual cable spool with the teeth on it. And when I got it out, the one side, all 3 plates came apart. And what happened is, when it broke, when the weld on the outside broke, as I'm pulling and winching the cable, the spool inside with the cable was expanding with the cable winding on it. Instead of holding its size, the cable and the force on the cable was pushing these apart, so it basically squeezed everything out tight and you couldn't move the winch, even when it was unloaded. So really a pretty simple fix, just with the wire feed welder, just 3 little tacks where it comes through. Hopefully it holds. In any case, I did over stress it, so it's not like I was moving a sea can storage container and dragging it on timbers with this. So it was doing its job. So don't throw it away if you notice that, and you'll probably be able to tell because there should be a gap here. You can see the spool does fit nicely in there, but when that broke and the spool came apart, it looked fine, but there was no gap. Everything was jammed tight. The other thing that happened was even this piece here that actually is the dog that grabs, even that was tight and didn't want to move. Everything was jammed, and I guess it was the forces pushing apart, jamming all the mechanism. Anyway, they are easily repairable, pretty simple. If you have the same problem, that's what it is. Anyway, hope you like the video.